Konbanwa, good evening, and welcome to, I think for me, a pretty hot episode. Because I thought a Q&A is like something when you don't have content.
Yeah, you're right.
But on the other hand side, we have now 17 videos in advance that these guys didn't see yet. And we're flying next week?
No.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks we fly to Japan, so the content just will increase. So I thought because everybody's at home, it's Christmas, the people are sitting in front of the screen, we actually could do a pretty cool Q&A. So I did an Instagram survey, collected some questions, and we're gonna do it totally uncut.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that's just fair to the community. So with no further ado, first question.
So the first question is, how did you get into cars?
Oh Lord. So my father bought an Audi 100 Quattro Turbo when I was like 8 years old, and that was like back then the fastest limousine that was street legal drivable in Germany. It was like the grandfather of the RS4 and the RS6, right? So and this car just, it looks fantastic, right?
Yeah.
For, I think I was 8 or 9 years old, something like this. And we drove with the car to Spain, to all these vacation places, and he picked me up from school. And I think that was the starting point. And the next point was when I get the driving license, I had like a Seat Ibiza, and it was the most non-tunable car in Germany. Okay, right? There were literally no parts. And after like a half year, I wanted to buy a Civic, and my grandmother denied because I didn't have any money at that time, right? And seeing that Civic, like lowered and big rims and like these DTM exhaust tips that you had back then, man, that was something. And I was so sad about not getting that Civic, right? So yeah, I think that brought me into cars. And then of course when I had like my first Golf and being at the first car meets with the Golf, I mean literally with the stock Golf, right? I mean we all start very small when you have the first car, but yeah, there was something. And I remember one funny story. So my grandmother gave me like $50 to buy jeans because I had like all holes in the jeans. I mean, this was like a early 2000 thing, right? You have like holes in the jeans and stuff like this. And she had to go buy jeans. And I went to D&W. There was like Autobox that we had back then.
Oh, okay.
And I bought a new shift knob for my Golf, right? So yeah, I think that pretty much explains me. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the second question is, what's been your most stressful car moment so far?
Well, that's a hell of a question. Most stressful car moment. I think there were. I think either I have like a top 3 than having like a most stressful moment. So, number 1 was the first time when my tire was flattened out when I had like a fresh newbie driver's license, right? And I had it like for 2 years, and my tire just exploded because I ran over a really spocky stone, and I didn't even know what's going on. But also, I mean, this was just stressful for me emotionally because I didn't know what to do, right? But from a dangerous perspective, the most heavy thing I ever had was when I had my Mercedes, my rear tire said goodbye at 160 kilometers an hour on the Autobahn.
That's dangerous, yeah.
And I managed to save the car, and I did, right? So there was no crash or something, and then I rolled on the parking place. Yeah, that was a very stressful moment, to be really honest. And the third one, I think my first crash, when I first time had a crash with the car. So it was wet. I had like aquaplaning. I mean, it's ages ago, right? But I chopped the car into an Opel Calibra, and the Calibra crashed on a parking space and crashed into 5 other cars, and the insurance got a bill like 200K. so yeah, that was. I think that was the top three. Let me say this. So otherwise, I mean, I drive like Miss Daisy, right? I mean, you know how I drive, right? I'm relatively relaxed. There are no burnout stuff or shit like that. So otherwise they're not very stressful moments, except for I'm getting angry about other people driving. Right?
That's the usual.
Yeah, that's it. But I think this is like a typical German thing.
I think so.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I think that was the top three to be really honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next question. What was your first real car?
My first real car.
Yeah.
In terms of modifications or in...
I think, like tuner car.
My first real tuner car, where I really did modify everything, was my Polo GDI. So let me check if I can blend in some pictures of the Polo. So there were some Thomason rims on it, and I usually were like all the other cars had like H&R suspension, and there was a first car where I put an ST on it because I couldn't afford back then K&W, and had the Thomason rims on 18-inch and 9.5 in the front and back, some spacers in front and back, some classic Max design style. I mean, it's like a Golf, right?
Yeah.
The Polo 6R. And also had some Recaro Sportster CS seats in it. They were pretty cool, and with airbag also. And I sold the car, and I'm now in tears because I should have kept the seats. Okay, because they would fit really good in the Supra. Also, it had a complete. Let me check. I think it was a complete bus hook system from the turbo to the back, and as well an. HG Motorsport intake, and everything was in the papers. So there was like the first car. Yeah. Also, I had like a big bass box in the trunk, and the typical German stuff too.
Everything was legal.
Yeah, straight legal. So, but it still was too deep for my driveway. So the Max design lip, I think I changed it like every 2 months. It always got a crack. Yeah.
Okay. So next question. Why is your channel in English? If you're from Germany.
I know that this question will come up. So at the beginning when I started the channel, I mean, we had the conversation a couple of times, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought about doing it in Germany. But now let me say it this way. When I started the channel, I said to myself, do I want to do it in German or in English? Yeah. Okay? And then if you think strategically, German is a good way because I'm based in Germany, I'm German, right? Of course I'm bilingual, but on the other hand side, I said, why not do it in English? Because I think it's interesting for people who are not based in Germany to see what German car culture is about. Of course, we're going to travel to SEMA, we're going to travel to TAS, we're going to travel to Altrace and all these events in Europe. But on the other hand side, people who are not based in Germany do not know what we are doing here in Europe, or especially not in Germany. And I thought it would be a good idea to represent German car culture to the non-speaking Germans.
Yes.
Right? And this is also why we go to German race wars, drift wars. I mean, we have so many cool car events in Germany that I really believe it's worth to tell. And I'm still wondering that not more people are doing this. Okay, I mean, we have like big YouTubers, like really 2.5 million big YouTubers, 2.5 million followers, big YouTubers, who are all doing all in German, but there's always these differentiation. Are the people in Germany doing it like that? Or is it just one guy or two guys or second guy, right? Yeah. And so, I thought it would be a good idea to do it in English. And by the feedback I received so far, I will continue doing it in English, full stop. Mm-hmm. Because the most viewers that are seeing this channel are either from the US, from Japan, UK, or South Africa. And the Netherlands. Netherlands is growing at the moment, yeah.
So, okay. Next question is, what do you like most about the Supra right now?
That it's in a dry garage. It's not been driven. So we have really ice cold winter at the moment here. It's not ice cold, but it's wet, foggy.
It's wet and foggy and raining.
It really not a super drivable weather at all, right? But in case of the car, I mean, I love the car itself. Okay, I think it's the fusion between BMW and Toyota was the best thing that could happen to the car from a driving perspective. Because everybody knows I'm a big fan of BMW as well, right? I like these cars. For modification, I think the rims are pretty much like the rims because they're so enormous, right? And they fit on the car. The fitment is just fantastic. I also like the exhaust tips, the same you got in your Supra.
Yes. The best one.
And they're literally like only 20 on this planet of these exhaust tips, right? So it's like a pretty unique feature actually.
And we two are the only one in Europe.
Yeah, we two the only ones in Europe, according to the guys who sell them. Yeah, so I think this is if I have like a top modification. Rims, tips.
What about the intake?
Oh yeah, I love the intake. I love it. The intake is great. I love the intake. But I think I go with the steering wheel. Because this is for me the touchable thing when you drive, where it gives you feedback, gives you everything you get out of the steering wheel. So I think the steering wheel, because it's the leather Alcantara, and big shout out to Rexpeed for make sure that I can buy it there. So I think the steering wheel. Okay. Yeah, that's the steering wheel is. Every time you sit in the car, you grab a steering wheel. You made a choice that you have the right car.
Okay, next question. Biggest mistake you have made on the Supra?
Biggest mistake I've made on the Supra? Maybe the front lip. Because of my driveway.
Yeah.
But on the other hand side, biggest mistake. Biggest mistake I've made on the Supra. I think if I would rebuild the car today, when it was completely stock, I would go for coilovers and wheels first before I go for spoiler and steering wheel. Yeah. So when I built the car back then, I drove it and I put it. So the day I received it, I put it in the garage. I take 2 chairs with my son and we sit there and just watching the car. And then my son said to me, "Hey, Dad, it needs a spoiler." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." So the first thing I did is, like, after having it for 1 week, I bought a spoiler, right? What is pretty cool, because it's a cool feature, because I think a Supra needs a grip to throw it away. Okay, that's like a common thing for me. On the other hand side, I think a lowered Supra just with coilovers and rims stock without spoiler,
like mine,
looks pretty fantastic, and also they're pretty rare. You know what I mean? So every Supra you see, there's like a spoiler on the trunk. Well, most likely on all of them. When you have a modified one.
Yeah, if you have a modified one.
A modified one always has like a spoiler on the trunk. If it is stock,
ducktail spoiler,
ducktail, something is always on the car. But really have one without a spoiler, I think, that is pretty. I mean, the one on SEMA. Let me see if we can blend the one that I saw at SEMA, the gray one with the white body without spoiler.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty dope, to be really honest. Yeah.
Yeah, the Supra without the spoiler is pretty clean.
Yeah. Imagine Adro white body kit without a spoiler. I think that would look amazing, to be really honest. I mean, I love the spoiler. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Okay. Or like Liberty Walk kit without a spoiler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it gives the car a kind of more character. Yeah. Right. So yeah. But I don't get me wrong. I like spoilers on the Supra, but without, I think it's pretty unique. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Why is Japan such a big deal for you?
Well, why is Japan a big deal for me? I love ramen in all varies and all things, and also I have a lot of friends by now in Japan. It started in, I think, 2019 when I did. So I do martial arts as well. Maybe some people know. If you don't know, I do a sport that is called Tenshin Ryo Yoho. It's like a form of Iaido or Kenjutsu, and in 2020, after the first COVID lockdown, I was invited to Japan for training for these senseis. So I had the experience to see Japan without tourists. And that left such a hard impression to me, because the people, I mean, back then I didn't spoke any Japanese, right? Today it's okay, right? So I can communicate. But that feeling when you walk somewhere and they think you're like a new soldier or you're like a local guy and they start speaking Japanese and then you tell them, hey, no, I'm German. I mean, they're big fans of Germany at all in Japan. That first time there left such a hard impression. We visited like Odawara Castle. I mean, I was a car guy back then as well, but I did not manage to go to Daikoku or stuff, right? But this first thing, the cultural DNA that I met back then left a really big impression to me, and a positive impression as well. And I think that's why it's such a big deal, right? And the other camera stopped working. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna switch the camera if she really died. We're gonna switch the camera if you're speaking. So so we just turn the camera wheel and make a little cut. I say, yeah. All right. So we turn the camera.
So the next question: what are you most excited about in Tokyo car culture?
So what excites me most about Tokyo car culture? The behavior of the people. I give you an example. So when we go to a car meet here, and there's not like a group like WBN cars or JDM or newbies, right?
No.
That they take care about the meet and make sure that there's security and stuff like that. No wrap ups, no burnouts, stuff like this. That escalates really quick if the meeting is not organized in Germany, because you always imagine Altrace.
Yeah.
When we went to Magnolia Park, that escalated completely.
Yes.
Okay, and 80% of the parking lot were Germans. Full stop. Okay, so
That's true, yeah.
so it tends to escalate very heavy, and you don't have that in Japan. You have the drifter scene that is very hidden because they don't want to deal with the guys who stand at Daikoku or Tatsumi PA. And you have these show and shine car scene, and usually people are very friendly. They drive in calm, they leave the parking space calm, they grab away their trash, put it in a recycle bin. They just have good manners and good behaviors. I think the best behaviors you can have in the world. Maybe that's related to their education, or that's related to how they grew up, or how they got raised by their parents.
Yes.
But I think that if in Germany we would have more like this, it would be even better. Also, trouble with the police and stuff like this, because some people are running obviously in stress with the police in Germany, right? So, and this is I think what keeps me so into the Japanese car culture as well, because I think that's. I give you an example. If we would have a place here like Daikoku, that would be open up for like 6 months in the summer, and then it would always be closed because the police would be there every time, because people won't be
I think
able
it
to
would
behave.
survive like 1 week.
1 week?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm pretty good with with 6 months. So 1 week. Okay, cool.
So next question: biggest difference between car culture in Europe, Japan, and the US?
Wow, that's let's start with the US. So what I hear from people in the US, they have, especially in California, a lot to do with takeover.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, Johnny spoke with us about it.
Yeah.
That's a really, really big deal. We don't have that in Europe. I'm happy about that. In Europe, you have more and more groups organizing meets. They pay like a little entry fee. We were in it was an amazing year for car meets this year. And then you are on a private place, and you really can lower your car, put the air glow on, and nobody do something, right? In Japan, they have, because here's the thing, okay? In Germany, on the car meets, when there's a private meet, the people are behaving nice. This is like it is in Japan all the time when you go to a car meet. So if we would behave nice, if we meet like unofficially somewhere, nobody would actually have an issue with that, right? If you don't rev up, you be quiet, you be calm, you don't scream and yell, you don't do burnouts or stuff like this, right? The US is way more advanced in getting trouble on a car meet, right? So I think that's like the main difference. You have the calmness level of the meets itself. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good explanation of what's the difference. Or what do you have any point to add there?
Yeah, also the tuning from the cars. Like of course you have in Japan, you have more ability and in the US to tune your car than in Germany.
Yeah, but I think yes and no. So I mean, you're right? But on the other hand side, we are the only country in the world where you legally allowed to drive like 500 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And we're the only country in the world where legally is so much allowed to put into your cars as in the paperwork. Japan has a similar system like the Shaken, right? And the Shaken has also some rules. It's maybe not that strict. Okay, in case of exhaust regulation, yes. But on body parts, body kits and stuff like this, they're also very strict actually. But the thing is, in Japan, the police doesn't care. In the US, the police doesn't care because they have other issues, right? Yeah. Or bigger issues. And I think so. If Germany wouldn't have a TOV, I still believe that we would be, from a tuning level, on the same line like the US and Japan. Full stop. Yeah, because go to all these car meets. I mean, the level of Bodentee, for example, the cars there was, you could put these cars easily and put them into the parking place to Daikoku or somewhere else. Everybody would say these cars belong here.
Yes.
Right? But it's again a private meet, right? So yeah, that's the thing. So, any other questions?
We have one more question. It's the last one.
Yes.
What's coming next year for the channel?
Nice try. What's coming next year? So what we can spoiler, we're gonna go to Japan.
Yes.
I made today a payment to Top Rank. We don't spoiler what's happening, okay? Because I think that's the people we see in January, February in the episodes. And we're gonna be at Ultrace 100%.
Yes.
Germany. With the Supras. Now 2 Supras are driving there. It's in Danzig. What they said on the Instagram page, right?
Yeah, we are in Ultrace Germany.
Yes. Yes.
First, and then in Poland again.
Yes, again.
But this time in Danzig. Yes.
This time in Danzig. Also, we're invited to Drift Masters from Artec and Drift Wars. So we will definitely take these events as well. And also we have a little thing going on. So when we are repairing Artec's engine, what will come out in an episode as well, I will learn how to drift finally. Yeah, so let's see how that works out. If I'm gonna break again my knee like on the skateboarding accident, or it will work out. Yeah, but there's so many things in the planning that I also consider at the moment, maybe going 2 times a month for 2 videos a week at the moment. Because, so again, we have so many content at the moment. So we don't have a content issue. We have an issue in regards of time for putting out the videos, because they have to be edited. We have our quality, how the edit should look like, right? Because we want our viewers to enjoy the video, and this is very important for me as well. And yeah, I think you and me know more. You will see next year.
Yeah.
And all right, cool. Any other questions? No,
nope.
It was the last one.
That's the last one, yes.
All right, everybody. So I know it's Christmas, and let me just turn the camera here. Maybe we can jump together on the picture, something like this. So thank you so much for 2025. We can say that. Thank you so much for all your support, and that was my first Q&A video. Okay, and it's raw and it's unscripted, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're still watching the video until that point and you're interested in what we do on this channel, then please leave us a comment, leave us a like, and as always, we're gonna catch you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.